Hello, my name is Dina Jackson, and today I'm going to be speaking with somebody very special. She is an author, she is a teacher, she is a clinical nurse, psychotherapist, PhD, and certified somatic experiencing trauma practitioner. Today we're going to be speaking about her book, The Courage of a Nation. Please welcome Dr. Teresa Marsh. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Dina.
There we are. We're back.
We're back. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Can't wait to share the story today.
Me as well. I love this. So as viewers know who have been following along, we are breaking down chapter by chapter the book, The Courage of a Nation. And today we're going to be talking about chapter 9, which is called I Died So Many Times, But I'm Still Here. And this is a really, really powerful chapter that you open up with a quote from Nelson Mandela. And I was wondering if you could share that quote with us.
Absolutely. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Nelson Mandela. Oh, my Madiba.
And so just diving right into the chapter in this particular case, this chapter references residential schooling in Canada and the closing of the residential schools and the Canadian government's attempt to rescue children, quote unquote, with reference to things like welfare. And that's removing children from their homes in their Indigenous communities. And the phrase, the 60s scoop, that was coined by P. Johnson at the time, really referenced that in a proper way, because it was an overwhelming number of children that were removed from their homes. And in this particular chapter, you speak about one individual's experience with that. And I was wondering if you could elaborate on that for us so readers have an idea of what they're getting into with this chapter.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the person that I would like to honor who offered this chapter to the book and for the readers, it's Mike Clark, and beautiful man, friend, healer, and helper. So my first meeting with Mike was when I was 2013, when I was recruiting the participants for my PhD research. I was recruiting 12 Aboriginal men, 12 Aboriginal women. And he came, he answered the advertisement, and he came to see me. And it was wonderful to sit in his presence and, you know, just to feel this energy, this majestic, beautiful man. And I asked him, as we were talking, I asked him, well, you're a healer. Why do you want to come into the, you know, seeking safety, Indigenous healing and seeking safety, sharing circles for the research? He said, I want to be a part of it. I should be a part of it, and I want to help. And he said, I'm still healing. Yes, I'm a helper and a healer, but I'm still healing. And then, you know, he told his story of many stories of this atrocity that also happened. The kids that were taken away from their homes and put in white homes, and they were sexually abused and traumatized and put to work. Mike was 4 and his brother, they were taken away and to a farm in southern Ontario, very far away from his community. He's from Martin Falls, and he tells his story beautifully in the chapter, so I won't elaborate too much on that. But after our first meeting, I realized that he had tremendous gifts and he had tremendous wisdom. And he was, as he entered the Men Seeking Safety Sharing Circle, he was the backbone, he was the supporter, you know, but he learned as well with the men. And Mike had a rough life. He ended up on the downtown east side. And the stories he told me, he almost died there and lost so many of his friends there. And one day he just decided he couldn't anymore. He lost another friend. And then he just got on the bus. And he wasn't planning to come to Sudbury. But when the bus arrived in Sudbury, I think he just decided to get off. And then the first thing he did was to go and find an elder. So his elder who helped him so much was Senior Brian Nuchai from Atikamek-Sheng Anishinaabe Reserve. And Mike shared many stories about the healing they did together. And today, Mike is a helper and a healer in the community. He's helped so many people here in Sudbury. He's been in recovery, I think, for over 25 years or more. Everybody knows him here in Sudbury, in AA meetings, in NA meetings, and he's been a sponsor to so many people here in Sudbury. Everyone, wherever you go and you say his name, they know who Mike Clark is. And 4 years ago, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I told him, he just started walking with me and doing ceremony for me, and he just kept on telling me all the time, "You're going to be okay, sister. You know, you're already cured, sister. Don't worry." But he came to every chemotherapy session and so on. So I'm very, very grateful to him. And he also started walking with me after I finished my my treatment, and I went back to work in September 2017. Mike started going out with me to communities, to James Bay Coast, to train people how to use this Indigenous healing and seeking safety model. He absolutely just loved the model, and he calls it ceremony, and I call it ceremony as well when we're sitting in the sharing circles. And so we've done a lot of work together, me and Mike, and we're still doing work together. He's now, at the moment, he's in Southern Ontario, but I'm hoping that he will come back to Sudbury because we all really miss him so much. So again, I just want to say, Chimikwich, Mike, thank you so very much for who you are and all that you bring to your people. You are an inspiration to all of us. Chimikwich.